We begin with a Fox News alert. Reports coming from the Korean Peninsula say about 2 hours ago, North Korea deployed surface-to-air missiles to its west coast near the border with the South, and U.S.-led war games got underway. Kim Jong-il had been threatening massive retaliation for the long-planned joint military exercises. North Korea already blames its neighbors to the south for last week's attack that left 4 dead and claims the two countries are now on, quote, the brink of war. Greg Palkot joins us on the phone from the LOC. Greg, thanks for joining us this evening. Can you see or hear the shelling right now?
Kimberly, it's a sign of how close we are to that war again. I'm looking at Yeonpyeong Island. We're about a half a mile away from it, and we are leaving. We are on a ship that's being told it has to go back to Incheon. It cannot go to that island. In the past 40 minutes, here is what we've seen and what we've heard. Individuals on the island say that they heard fire, artillery fire, coming from the North Korean coastline. That has not been confirmed, but that was the eyewitness report. Others are saying that they saw openings of artillery embankments along the North Korean coastline opening up as if to be ready to fire, and some even claimed they saw shells being carried to the embankments. We have no confirmation of this, but we do have a confirmation that the North Korean spokesman in the last 2 days has been warning against more attacks, physical attacks, in direct response to the U.S.-South Korean joint naval exercises that have launched absolutely today in the last couple of hours in the seas I'd say about 5 miles from where we are right now. So you're basically head-to-head with a couple of pretty angry people face to face, and again, on the island of Yeonpyeong, we are also told that the residents are being told to go into the shelters there. This could be a false alarm. We could maybe not be seeing another fusillade coming from North Korean artillery banks, but there are no chances being taken right now, Kimberly.
All right, Greg Palkot, thank you for that update. We'll be trying to come to you later in the program. And right now, joining me on set is the author of Nuclear Showdown, North Korea Takes on the World. We have Gordon Chang in studio. So, Gordon, based on your experience, can we expect North Korea to continue firing missiles as it appears these war games are going to continue?
You wouldn't think so, because in the past, when the North Koreans have faced superior force, they have generally withdrawn. And right now, we have the George Washington, a carrier which is nearby, along with its strike group. That's a lot of power. So you would expect the North Koreans not to do anything. The fact that they might have been firing just a few hours ago is really an escalation. Really, they're doing something we haven't seen them do in a very long time. So right now, this is quite dangerous.
It is quite dangerous, and it's a provocative act. It's one that could definitely require a response from the U.S. and escalate this further. What do you think the reasoning is behind it? It seems very foolish and very dangerous.
Well, Kim Jong-il, the current leader of North Korea, is trying to pass power to his 27, 28-year-old son, who's really not ready. And what he needs to do is show some accomplishments to really legitimize the transfer. And, essentially what we saw in March was the sinking of a South Korean frigate. Now we saw the shelling of a South Korean island. Who knows what they're going to do next? The thing that's that concerns me is that usually North Korea waits 2 or 3 years from provocation to provocation. What we have this year, though, is in March and now in November. So there's an acceleration of the pace.
Now, what can we expect? Because there's a lot of things in play now with China. We've got the U.S. with a strong physical force and presence there with the USS carrier George Washington that also has, nuclear capability. This is something that could very quickly escalate and get out of hand.
Well, it clearly could, because a couple days ago I was saying, oh, this is just going to dissipate. And yes, there'll be another horrific act, but it's going to be months down the road. What we have right now, though, is all the elements filling into place, because you have the United States bringing in the carrier. You have really the South Korean public, which had really been very meek and passive. Even after the sinking of the Chonan in March, they didn't want any sort of retaliation against the North. But with the killing of civilians on Tuesday, that really has changed the mood in South Korea, which means now people, they want retaliation, they want some sort of revenge.
Yeah, the tone and tenor has changed, and now they seem more willing to accept some kind of military escalation or intervention to send a strong response.
And that means that the government of Lee Myung-bak, the president of South Korea, is going to be under pressure to do something a bit more resolute. So you can see the escalation. All the elements are in place. I don't know if it actually will occur, but it's now things are becoming probable.
Well, and they also have the support, the show of force with the U.S. there to back South Korea, which is considerable as well. You would hope that that would operate as a deterrent to North Korea. It seems so far this evening it has not. Gordon Chang, thank you so much for being with us this evening.